Hello there, Peter Brissett here, digital marketing dude. Welcome to my next video. 3 website mistakes healthcare professionals make. Most healthcare websites are not losing patients because they're bad providers. They're losing patients because the website creates confusion, weakens trust, and makes the next step harder than it should be. Welcome again. I'm Peter Brissett, the digital marketing dude, and we're going to break this down today and talk about the 3 website mistakes healthcare professionals make. So, what's happening? What is the problem here? Why are they losing clients? 3 main reasons that I already mentioned is confusion. Clients don't know what they should do once they get to the website. There's no opportunity to build trust and lots of friction. Lots of challenges with how the website's laid out, and it makes it very difficult for clients and prospects and patients to be able to actually engage and want to do business with that business. So, what is it that visitors actually want? They want clarity very quickly. You have anywhere between 3 to 7 seconds to grab them, to get them to stay long enough to dig deeper to find out if they want to engage with your business or not. They want to know if you can help them. Are you the right provider for them that is able to help solve their problem? And they need to know what to do next. That's what they're really thinking about. So, why does this matter? Well, your website's a lot more than just an online brochure. This is an opportunity for you to communicate to your ideal prospect that you are the right business for them, and that you are going to solve the problem. And the website is a tool that helps you to build that trust that you need in order to do that. It most often is the first point of contact. When they do a search, they're learning about you. They're going to dig into your website to really see uh, what you're about, and again, whether or not you can help them. So when we look at the assets we own versus the assets that we rent, when we talk about digital marketing, we talk about your website as being one of those things that you own. You own the website. You have complete control of it. You can make it the best that it can be. And that's what you need to do. A high performing website should guide visitors towards an action, towards downloading something, towards booking a meeting, to calling, to filling out a form. Something needs to happen, and your website is a place to do that. We have limited number of eyeballs. It's not like we can get tens of thousands of views on our website from an ideal prospect. So every prospect that does hit our website, we have to take advantage of that and get the most out of that interaction. All right, mistake number one. Here's 3 mistakes: unclear messaging, no clear call to action, and outdated or cluttered design that hurts. So let's break these down. First of all, when we talk about unclear messaging, what does that look like? It looks like generic headlines like compassionate care or quality service. What does that even mean? And why should that your customer care about that? Vague language, not no clarity, no specificity, no explanation of services in an easy to understand manner. Uh, no clear indication of who it's for. Often, what we see on websites is that you're talking all about your business, but you're not talking to your customer, to your prospect. Um, a page and pages full of internal language instead of something that's patient friendly in terms of how it's speaking to them. And you have to remember the rule of 3 clicks. If it takes me more than 3 clicks to get to the information I need, I'm probably gone. That's too much work and too much friction that gets created when you have to click around too much to get to the right content and the right information. So, why does this happen? Glad you asked. Uh, a lot of providers assume that visitors already understand what they do. So, they're not really putting themselves in the mind of their prospect, their clients. Um, or they're trying to sound too broad. They're worried that if they're too specific, they might limit the right person. So instead of being specific, they're very broad, very generic. Um, or they try to say too many things in an unorganized way. So I think of a dentist. A dentist can have a very long list of services that they provide, but it needs to be very organized and very easy to navigate on the website. And it needs to be communicated in a way that's easy for those who aren't a dentist to understand it and what that means for them. So, some key points to remember here: don't make website visitors have to work to understand the site. Uh, Don Miller talks about this as cognitive load. If I have to think too much about what your website's saying to me, I'm probably going to go somewhere else. You have to make it very easy for them to understand. The homepage needs to answer basic questions really quick. What's the problem you solve? Who do you solve it for? What's the next step I need to take? Clear always beats clever. We're not trying to be cute. We're not trying to be clever here. We're just trying to communicate a very clear and specific message. And specific will always beat vague. So, how can we fix this? What do we do? Clear headline at the top of the homepage that clearly states this is what we do and who we do it for. This is the problem we solve, and this is who we solve that problem for. It needs to be very brief. State exactly what you offer, talk about who you help, and organize the pages around the patient questions, the client questions. What is it they need to know? What are they actually looking for when they're on the website? What questions are they trying to answer? Way too many websites do not have any frequently asked questions on them, none. So, having questions specific to each service, having general frequently asked questions, these are very important to have on a healthcare website. Use simple, direct language. Simplify it, take out the jargon, make it easy to understand, and reduce options and clutter. And we'll talk more about that. So that's the first thing. The next thing is no clear call to action. And this is actually a significant problem for almost all small business websites. So, what does this look like? No visible appointment button. Phone number's hard to find. Contact page is difficult to get to. Too many competing buttons. I was looking at a website just the other day, and just above the fold, right, that first view, there was 4 different calls to action. I'm like, it's too many. We have to reduce this to a single call to action. And that single call to action is not repeated throughout the page. And if you're using a mobile device, you got to think about that mobile user. What's it like for them? It's easy for them to make a call or even to fill out a form. A lot of times the forms are not mobile friendly. Again, why does this happen? Assume the visitors will figure it out. Um, Focus on explaining the business, not guiding the user. So you have to think of yourself as the guide of how you're going to direct the visitor to your website. Too many options instead of a clear primary call to action. And the site was designed more for looks, which is important, but had no conversion thought to it. No thought of how we're going to uh, help people actually do business with us. Key points here: websites should guide visitors towards an action. The next step should be very obvious on the page, should be clear and obvious. And every page should support movement towards either contact, towards booking an appointment or some type of inquiry, a phone call, whatever it might be. So, what should we do instead? Choose one primary call to action. What's the number one thing you want a prospect to do when they get to your website? And make that very clear and obvious. Should be in the header of the page, should be repeated throughout the page, in particular the home page. It's got to be mobile friendly. I got to be able to do it on my phone. Very specific language. We'll give some examples here and match that call to action to your business model. So, are we trying to book an appointment? Is that what we're after here? Are we want them to make a phone call? Do we want them to fill out a form or request a consultation? What is it we want them to do? And be very specific about that. All right, mistake number 3, outdated or cluttered design that hurts. So let's talk about what that looks like. Pixelated images that are blurry, images, stock photos that don't really align with who you are and what you're doing. Um, there's a cognitive dissonance. There's a separation between I'm looking at words, but then this image is totally throwing me off. So, really having quality images is really important. Maybe it's old branding, inconsistent branding. Maybe you have print materials or social media that doesn't match the branding that is on your website. You want to have consistent branding throughout. Crowded layout, too many colors or visual elements, and not the right kind of contrast, so it's easy to read. Hard to read text in general, text that's too small, that's doesn't have a uh, um, strong uh, color to it, where the color is faded. So instead of being just solid black, it's like a slight gray. A lot of times, those types of texts are very hard to read. Not enough spacing, things too close together. Pages loading slowly. Um, Pages should not be loading slowly at this point with all the technology we have with websites now. Pages should load quickly, in particular on mobile devices, and sites struggling to actually uh, be mobile friendly. So why does it happen? Well, we built the website a few years ago, and we haven't touched it since. The last blog post is dated from 7 years ago. A website is really never finished. It should be constantly worked on, constantly updated. It's a never ending project. It's a tool to be used and to be used often to help promote your business. Too much packed into a page. Now, I think you can design a lot of content onto a page as long as it makes sense, as long as it's a flow that takes you step by step through that. But if you try to put too much information that's all over the place, that doesn't have a flow to it, that's a problem. No clear strategy on the conversion. How are we going to actually convert people in this process? Um, the site was built quickly and never never improved, never updated, never changed, um, and really not thinking about why is visual trust important, and how important is that? So what does this hurt? It hurts trust basically when it comes down to it. So I'm associating your website and how your business operates with the quality of your business. Um, is your practice going to be the same way as your website is? Um, is how am I going to actually experience engaging with you and your business? The clutter makes the site hard to use. Poor design can really reduce the confidence before a patient ever calls. Um, And building those moments of trust are so critically important. And if the website's been neglected, it's going to call things into question. Some key points to remember here: in healthcare, trust is everything. Your website is your first impression. Uh, invest in it, make it quality, make sure it does what it needs to do. A clean design does not just look better, it performs better. And simplicity helps people feel more confident in your business and in doing business with you. So, how do we fix this? Clean layouts. Easier than ever to do with websites. Improve the image quality. So, you can use some AI images. So many healthcare sites are very heavy with stock photos. Getting professional images done is a game changer. You really want to set yourself apart from your competition, then get some professional images made. Hire a photographer and get some really good quality images. Fonts, spacing, make sure those are clear, easy to read. There's lots of open space on the site. Make it easy to scan, more bullet points, use icons to separate information. Make sure the mobile experience is dialed in. Um, a higher percentage of people are probably experiencing your website on a mobile device versus someplace else. Um, make sure speed is good, responsiveness, looking great on different screen sizes is dialed in, and take out any unnecessary clutter. So, again, a clear headline, short supporting statement on the homepage, one main call to action. In that first, above the fold, when I first come to that homepage, those three things have to be there and they need to be dialed in. A good, strong supporting photo that supports the headline, the statement, the call to action, they all go together. And then below that, your trust building elements, reviews and testimonials from your clients, um, a brief listing of your services. Why do people do business with you? What are the quick, easy steps to take in order to solve the problem that they have? Those are the kinds of things that will build trust there. So, those are the three things. We'll take a look at these. Unclear messaging, easy to fix. No clear call to action, outdated, cluttered design that hurts trust. So, what can you do next year? Well, we'd like to give you some feedback on your website and point out where some of the challenges are and give you specific recommendations on how you can fix that. So, you can get a free review of your website. To do that, you go to freewebreview.com. You put in your name, your email address, and your website. We'll take that information and we are going to build a personalized video walkthrough of your website with very specific suggestions on how you can make improvements. We're going to look at your homepage. We're going to look at your headline, your supporting headlines, your calls to action. We're going to run this through our tools and look at how your website's being viewed by AI. Are you even show up in the AI tools? And do you have the things necessary built into your website right now so that you can? Um, Google Eat. We'll talk more about that when we follow up with this, but very important to have those things ready and in place. And we're going to send you some checklists to help you review that and do that. It's going to be a very detailed report that we'll send out to you. It takes us a couple days to do this because we actually use human power, not just AI power, to evaluate your website. So please check out freewebreview.com and be looking for our next video out here on YouTube and on social media. And we'll talk to you in the next video. Take care.